Yeah. Also, we should do an audio test. Ah! Okay, this was my audio.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Audio test. Perfect thing to do 2 minutes before we do the proper show. Hi.
Yeah, I guess I can pimp you a little bit. Okay. I might be a
Excuse
little
me?
on the loud end.
You're
Get
going
our
to what
levels on.
me?
Bump you a little bit? That's definitely what I said.
You said pimp me.
I did. I also heard pimp.
Then,
Am I?
Not to be against your side here.
I mean, let me gaslight both of you at the same time. No, you definitely didn't, and thank goodness there is no audio or video or any kind of recording to prove the opposite.
That's true.
Yeah, that's
If
how
only
it
we
is.
had the means to go back and listen.
Yeah, but we don't.
We're just not there yet.
That is the nature of a live stream. It happens live and cannot in any way or form be recalled. And
This is the point of lying.
exactly, like a liar.
Yeah.
And with that, hello and welcome everybody to the Awkward Card and this VOD on YouTube that you can rewatch at any point in time. Where ANY and Keyframe wonder about random drivel. And we are back in the past. We are basically at the 6th to last episode because we have our 6th guest ever, and we are now counting back again. Hello, welcome back, Zach.
Hello, I'm Zach. I was a guest on this podcast a few years back, and I'm back. And I should introduce
Back when
myself.
the show was still a baby.
I know. And before we had this fantastic opening line, do you want to do the honors?
Oh, yes. So, since it's been a while, Zach, we need to ask you the question we've been asking people recently of who are you, what do you do, and why should people care?
Nailed it.
Okay, say that one more time. What was the first question?
Damn it!
Which
Who
one was
are
first?
you?
Okay, I was like, is it what I do first? Sorry, now I'm under pressure. Hello, I'm Zach. I'm a voice actor. You may have heard me in a few different things across the internet. I also,
like
stuff like this. Yeah,
Stuff
those four
like
panels
this.
right there.
Yeah, we should have
Shout
just
out,
kept these up.
Shout out Pymations, Tomska, Senior Palo. They're cool. But yeah, I used to do YouTube and stuff all the time. I used to upload gaming videos, but now I'm pretty much full-time voiceover artist and voice actor. And Twitch streamer sometimes. I do a lot of things at different times. I don't know. I'm very indecisive of what I want to pursue, but it's usually voice stuff. And why should you care? Because the things I'm in are pretty funny sometimes, and they might make you laugh or chuckle or cry if very stupid internet comedy makes you cry.
That's my go-to crying material when I need to fix an emotional clog. I just look up Suction Cup Man 3.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean Suction Cup Man. Yeah, Suction Cup Man 4 is a great video to cry to. It has a bit of a downplay.
Oh, that's actually a great question. Which most famous voices are you?
Well,
he's the businessman.
Oh, the businessman.
Yeah.
So you're the guy who jumps out of windows without suction cups.
Yeah, exactly. The guy on the right there, the gentleman.
Yeah.
I actually voiced both of those characters, but on the right is the businessman.
Yeah.
And he's a very angry gentleman.
He is.
Yes.
But I mean, he has a
hates
good reason.
Suction Cup.
He has a good reason.
Yeah.
If there's somebody just coming up his skyscraper and smudging all the windows.
Yeah, I mean, I think rich white guys get a little too much hate these days. So I think
they are our most oppressed.
I really sympathize with the business guy. I see Suction Cup Man coming up, and just like the businessman, I just get angry, and
it's
like,
not even
give the guy a break.
Yeah, it's not even voice acting. You are just truly voicing your feelings in that moment.
I am able to express my true feelings and thoughts through the businessman, and it's really great. I aspire to be an old rich white man someday who hates anyone who climbs up his tower.
I mean, same here. The old and white I've already covered. The rich part is still work in progress. So if anybody
you
wants
gotta
to
start somewhere.
sponsor this podcast,
Yeah.
What, for the goal of you becoming a rich old white guy?
yeah. And I can share with you guys, so then Zach is also rich and white, and I'm not sure
That's
if
right.
Yeah,
the,
but
the
he's
old
One day I
part...
will be old.
But he's not old. He's a baby.
Give him time.
I'll get there.
Yeah,
In time,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Hopefully, I'll have like a big wizard beard.
Yeah, being old requires a lot of experience. Oh my god, this is actually true.
I'm gonna give being an old white guy a brand new look.
Nice.
I don't think that's what they're missing is they're missing the wizard beard.
And if you want to Keyframe, you can also become an old white guy.
Oh, my biggest
I like
dream.
how this is how I'm advertising myself. Yeah, I just want to be an old white guy one day and just
We gotta give you
Take it
business
easy.
cards. Zach Fuller, future rich white guy.
Oh yeah, this is still in the why should we care section, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, we figured out why. He's furthering the
I am
rich
furthering
white
the
guy
image of
movement.
old rich white guys. Yeah, through the businessman.
Oh, this is awful.
Mike will be so
anyways.
happy to hear this. Mike being Pimations, he created Suction Cup Man. He's also in the room next to me working.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. I live with him.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's a thing that now we know. That is
Yeah,
probably
it's true.
this was probably for fans already common knowledge, but now we know too.
Yeah. I
Yes.
live with my friend Mike, my friend Robin, who is also a voice actor, and my friend Nikki, who does music stuff, and they're very talented. And
Yeah, and
I'm very happy to live in a house full of nerds that are awesomely
You
talented.
just
and
live
very
with a
fun.
production team.
Yeah, that was exactly my
basically, yeah.
thought. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's a pretty cool household here.
It's literally a content house.
More or less, yeah. It just less disturbing society and
Yeah, I was about to say,
You know,
just without the
having
drama and
parties.
the scandals and the regular
Yeah,
police
yeah.
intervention.
no scandals going on here. Yeah, no, we are tax-paying, law-abiding content creators / voiceover artists and other artists.
Mildly toasted breakfast eaters.
But
But yeah, so
let's find out if we maybe can break through this facade and figure out what scandals and atrocities actually do happen in your life. What has been going on in your life recently?
In my life, oh man. Well, since the last time I was on the podcast back in 2018, I was. I'll give a short timeline of events from 2018 to now.
Excellent,
What I've been up
excellent.
to.
4 years,
We
easy.
we have time.
The
so.
big thing was in like 2019. I got to visit Colorado, which is where I've always wanted to be because that's where all my friends are. The majority of my friends. And then in 2020, before things happened and became a little weird, I was able to move to Colorado, where I am right now with my pals.
Ooh.
And since that time, I've gotten to meet a lot of cool like creators and people who have hired me to be part of their channels and do stuff for them, like. Somewhere a lot of people know me from in terms of voiceover these days is the channel Easy Peasy, which is a MK-esque channel owned by the same guy, but I do voiceover for them, which is basically memes and funny images from Reddit that I laugh at or voice over and give. I bring the memes to life. And that's been pretty consistent. I've been doing that.
Okay, there are a few of them.
Like
I guess
like
this
Walt-
one.
The channel Easy Peasy.
This one?
Yes.
Scroll. It should be at the very top, unless I don't know.
There's easy
Nope.
peasy German,
It's not that.
easy peasy
No,
art, easy peasy English.
It's kind of
Easy
it's
peasy?
kind of hard to find the
Easy
channel.
peasy? More easy
There's a
peasy.
few different Easy Peasies. Yeah, I can link it in the Discord chat. There we go. But yeah, it's me and a few other voiceover artists, not just me. But yeah, that is something I do quite frequently, and I've gotten to meet a lot of other cool people and voice in their stuff, and yeah, it's neat. And here in Colorado, it's been really nice because we've been able to grow Pimations quite a bit. Like this house that we're in is Mike's house. Like he bought it, and Pymations is becoming a huge group effort. And we have been hard at work, working on future things. I've been a lot more involved with Pymations as of recent. I've helped write some videos. I've literally watched over Mike doing stuff and been helping him with growing the channel and what we're now calling Pymations Studios. Because we've got a whole team of artists, animators, background artists, writers. It's a whole process now, and it's awesome. And yeah, I'm kind of all over the place. I don't really do interviews.
I mean, you haven't been here in 4 years.
Yeah, we need to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, to sum it up, basically, I've been very involved with a lot of different things and trying to keep it all under control. It's a lot.
Just captaining a ship.
Yeah, I'm trying my best to help around the ship. Make sure no holes go left unfilled or unrepaired, so that we don't sink. We don't want that happening.
Again.
Again. Everyone remembers
boy.
when everything just crashed down and
the big sinking of 2019.
And in terms of not work, because I realize I basically just talked about everything in terms of work.
Are you saying there's more to life than work? How dare you?
Well, I try to keep a healthy balance. But in terms of fun things, I've, of course, been playing a lot of video games, watching movies, and getting into film, and I love movies so much. It's like my favorite art form. Music is also fantastic.
A full list, please, of all the games and movies since your last opinion.
Yeah, in the last 4 years. Well, let's see. No. Every single game I've played.
Rolls out scroll.
Yeah. But I've been playing a lot of games, watching a lot of movies, listening to a lot of music. Lately, like the past year in particular, I've become obsessed with Electric Light Orchestra. Because their music just fills me with life, and I just, it's great. I love them. They're great. I've also sunk in a lot of time and money into collecting vinyl records. That's been quite a big thing for me. Yeah, it's a very dangerous hobby.
I mean, yes. What hobby isn't a bit dangerous if you don't commit?
Exactly. I've started a few collections of things that have not been exactly on the cheap end. A lot of like collecting old video games I had as a kid that my parents made me throw away because I want the games and they make me happy. A lot of PlayStation 2 games. I grew up with the PlayStation 2 quite heavily. But yeah.
Well,
I like collecting things.
That's been Zach the Collector's life. What about you, Max? What have you gotten going on?
Since last week.
I mean, if there's not much,
let me just. I mean, I spent more or less all of yesterday. We did an epic adventure throughout all of Mall of Berlin, which is just, I believe, the biggest mall in Berlin, like 3 floors across 2 buildings. Like, we literally went through all the floors.
Wait, 3 floors, 2 buildings?
Over. I mean, it's probably still smaller than a medium-sized American one, but we are in Germany, so it's still big, big,
saying,
big.
Like, I'm like, Mall of America here is like,
yeah.
I mean, that place has a full-ass amusement park inside of it, so...
But yeah.
Everything's bigger here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we got our 17,000 steps in.
Nice.
Oh, did you get another Minions Fitbit sticker?
Here's the thing. The Fitbit that I have is basically one of the charger, one of the little pins is like too much pushed in, so it doesn't work anymore, so I can't recharge the Fitbit, so I'm out of it. But yeah, Denim's Fitbit. But all of it. You guys, you wouldn't believe how hard it is to find a pure white leisure suit.
I was wondering where that was going.
I still don't have one.
There's a thing called Amazon, Maxie.
I hate buying clothes via the internet because you never,
I-
especially exotic ones, you never know if they will fit. So you order them, you put them on, and you're like, huh, weird. Japanese has a very different form of sizing than Europe.
Oh,
Nothing
yeah.
fits.
The whole world.
I mean, I get that.
You gotta be
Lord
careful.
knows, I can't find a suit. Buying suit pants for a very similar thing has been a gamble because let me tell you, it's great being a woman with broad shoulders and then everything else that happens down below, because when you need to buy a suit, it's 2 pieces, the blazer and the pants. You can't pick a size for here and a size for the pants, and they expect you to just be the same size meat tube the entire way down.
Me too.
Because like nothing fits right. Everything is either okay, be prepared to just need like the world's tightest belt so things can fit around your goddamn meaty legs, or like everything's just going to go like I mean, I understand the sentiment.
Yeah, but yeah, so
but
close.
when desperate times call for
I know.
desperate measures.
It's basically what now has to happen, because it's only a few more weeks until beep 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 Eurofans. So.
Beep, beep. But yeah, so if that was your week. Let me see if anything happened to me. What happened to me? That is entertaining news, mind you. That wasn't fuck airlines kind of news. I mean, I could rant about that. That could at least be an entertaining rant.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I think everyone can agree that airlines can be pretty cringe.
I mean, yeah, the big cringy thing that happened was, so I bought my ticket to go to Berlin later this year.
Oh, Jesus.
I bought my ticket for it back in April, like buying it in advance.
Right.
Wednesday, this past Wednesday, they sent me an email saying, due to so-and-so vague issue, we have canceled your flight. And your flight is not eligible for compensation or refund. Have a nice day.
Oh my god, I would be so upset.
Try being on a live stream when you find out this news.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I'm sorry guys, I gotta like go and scream for 20 minutes.
Nope, she took it like a champ.
Yeah, I was on his stream on Wednesday. We were, and I was like, and I had to buy a new ticket, and that new ticket was nearly $900. But update for people, I did get an email back from the airline because a lot of them were like, oh, they have to give you some compensation, like they shouldn't be allowed to do this, by law. It's like, just because something's by law does not mean that they do it. I hate to say that.
Yeah. You can't be so reliant on the law.
Yeah. What they said was, so we could provide you credit with our airline so you can book a future flight. Here's the thing. This airline connects through a particular airport. Like most international ones do, they usually have a thing where they have connections at the same airport, like depending on where the airline the flight company's based. They only had one flight going out to Germany that whole day, and they canceled it. So it's like, what fucking flight are you expecting me to go on?
Right.
Like it's like, this is less than worthless. This is just mean now.
It is just mean, yeah. There's no getting around that.
This is like someone starving in the desert and you throw them a can with no can opener.
Yeah, figure it out. Have fun.
Yeah, I'm just like, there was just 2 days this week where I kind of was just sitting here like, what the fuck? Why? Does anything else want to happen to me? Like looking up at the sky kind of thing.
I can't imagine why, because you said you got the ticket in like April.
Yeah, they said I couldn't qualify for flight insurance because I booked it so early.
that's
Explain
like
that logic. Like,
yeah, it's like no, I bought it I bought it early to ensure that nothing would go wrong, and yeah, that's frustrating.
I mean, I've had worries because my friend Will has had like so many problems flying here to America because like it seems like a bunch of international airports and airlines are on strike every day, and it'll like delay flights for hours, if not days, if not cancellations. And it's just like, I'm not going to fault the people working at the airlines because like
Right.
if they were
They're
being
just doing
treated
their
fairly,
job.
they wouldn't be going on strike and shit.
Right.
But goddamn, if I didn't cause their problems,
Yeah.
it's like, but yeah, the labor shortage affected me personally. Fuck you.
Hell yeah.
But like, yeah, but no. Besides that, it's just been, working and living, and then working and living, and loving all the new Pokemon announcements. I love how much people love this fucking bread dog.
I've seen the people talking about the new Pokemon.
Yes, I'm very excited of everything's just shaping up to be fun and cool. And like most Pokemon fans that I'm seeing, well, I mean, I'm not like this, but there's just Pokemon fans who I don't think like being happy.
Yeah, no, I think you could say that for a lot of things, like Star Wars or
True.
what's
just
another thing that everyone
happiness.
just hates all the time?
I mean, Star Wars fans had little reasons to be truly happy since episode 1.
Oh, so you're part of the problem.
Some good stuff. We've had some good stuff.
Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Mandalorian was good. I love Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, games, right? Wait, no, Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith is episode 3.
Yeah, that's still the old ones. Yeah, of course.
Revenge of the Sith. Well, Revenge of the Sith is a prequel, so. Ooh.
Oh wait, episode 3. Oh, 3.
Yeah, episode 3. Yeah, the originals were 4, 5, and 6.
Which I would say is the best of the prequel trilogy. Yes.
Yes.
It is so. No, go ahead.
I think a lot of people are inclined to agree that episode 3 is certainly the peak of the prequels.
Funny enough, many people actually disagree and are like, "Oh no, everything went downhill," and I'm like, I
remember being a part of that group like years ago when I was getting into Star Wars and like the sequels were coming out, and I remember like being like, "Oh yeah, the original trilogy is great, and the prequels are terrible," and blah 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 blah. They're like, "God, sequel and CG and not practical effects. It's so stupid, and they're just walking and talking." But like, looking back, they, I've tried to take the perspective of I'm going to enjoy what is there. I'm going to enjoy this for what it is, and if I don't like it, then oh well, it wasn't for me. But like even the sequel trilogy, I'm pretty sour towards like the Rise of Skywalker, because that was supposed to be like the end of the saga, the ultimate movie, and I liked The Last Jedi. I enjoyed The Force Awakens. I liked The Last Jedi. I thought it had some problems, but I don't know. Even The Rise of Skywalker, there are things to enjoy, but oh well, it's a freaking movie. They're movies I care about, but at the end of the day, it is a movie. You can't get too worked up over it. I like
those are factually correct statements.
I just found it really funny that Max was like, "Oh, Star Wars fans have little reason to be happy." Can't remember the like penultimate prequel movie name. Like, wow. But no, it's just been listening to announcements and stuff. Watching watching the new people who own Warner Brothers Discovery speedrun ruining a platform.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah,
oh
I'm actually very
God.
upset about that. Affected me personally because they removed the movie An American Pickle. And I liked that movie a lot, and they just removed it.
Yeah.
I can tell that you have not heard of that.
I've seen American Pickle. Max probably is not.
Nope.
But
yeah, no,
I know Pickle Rick,
Max,
but I have the feeling that's something very different.
It's I enjoyed it. It was a movie about, to sum it up pretty quickly, it stars Seth Rogen. He plays a guy from like the 20s or something, and he makes pickles. He works in a pickle factory, and then he falls into a batch of pickles. It gets covered up, and then the factory he worked in shut down for years and years and years later. Then like one of his like not ancestor, the opposite of ancestor. Descendant, yes. One of his descendants, who was also played by Seth Rogen, like finds out, like he survived in the batch of pickles all these years for some reason, and then he has to show him like what modern life is like.
The power of pickling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's what pickling is for, keeping stuff fresh.
There's a lot involved in the plot, but I recommend it if you can find where to watch it. But now it's not on HBO Max.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it though. I like Seth Rogen.
For context, for people who don't keep up with this stuff to a ravenous level, so essentially they canceled the Batgirl movie even though it's done. It's not coming out.
Right. Yeah.
They canceled the Scooby-Doo like holiday movie that also was completely done. They were just like,
I didn't know that one was done.
Yeah,
I know they canceled a sequel to Scoob, which is fine.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
And they were gonna bring back Patrick Warburton cop from Mystery Incorporated. That makes me mad.
Oh man.
But they canceled those two. They took off 5 streaming exclusive movies from the platform, so movies meant for HBO Max. And then they fired 70% of their development team. And they're like, we're not going to focus much on scripted content anymore. We're Discovery. We want to focus on unscripted things.
Which is okay if you want to do this as a direction, whatever. But I'm still hung up on the fact that they have already produced stuff that they own. And they have a streaming service where it costs them nothing to just put it on there, and whoever wants to watch it can watch it.
Tax write-offs, baby. That's the whole reason.
But even then, couldn't they write it off if it was released? Because they did it. They made the movie.
But isn't this kind of like the producers, where if it's a failure, it's worth more or something?
Yeah, make more money with a flop than with a hit. It's just confusing because there have been things that have been thrown into the shadow realm of tax write-offs before that have been released. Because for Cartoon Network fans, that's what happened with Megas XLR and Symbionic Titan. They just had those, and then they aired, and then they wrote them off with tax write-offs, which basically means they can't air in America anymore. And now people are just kind of like, we have to wait a week and see if our thing survives this purge. Like, a lot of people are worried about Harley Quinn, like the Harley Quinn show.
Right.
And,
which I hear is, like, super good and successful, so I think they'd be stupid to shut that down.
They canceled a movie that was going to bring back Michael Keaton Batman.
Oh.
So, Batgirl was going to have Michael Keaton Batman.
Oh,
and
my
Brendan Fraser as the main villain. So that was going to be his first return to feature, like to a major feature film.
What are they
Since
doing?
he got blacklisted by the industry because of fucking assault. Because Brendan Fraser deserves the world. I love him. He watched Doom Patrol. He's a good boy.
We need to continue watching Doom Patrol, by the way.
We do.
But talking about media.
Yeah, no, it's just been a very interesting day. Also, the thing that pisses me off the most, I'll get to my media in a second, but the thing that pisses me off the most, they took off the 3rd season of Final Space. And
they took off
the final season of Final Space. A single
season? Why did they do that?
You can only watch... No, or did they take up all of Final Space? Because you can only watch the first 2 seasons on Verve now. That's the only way you can legally watch Final Space in the U.S. Or if you have the Blu-ray DVD for the first 2 seasons. There is no way to legally watch the final season of Final Space in the U.S.
This is why we need to protect physical media. I am a huge advocate for preservation and keeping physical media alive. Like, every time I hear about, like, a movie or something, or I watch it on streaming, like, usually what I do right after, if I liked it, I will buy a physical copy of it because I have a whole shelf full of movies. I also collect movies. I like movies. But yeah, like, and when I heard that American Pickle was removed off HBO Max, I was like, all right, well, I'll just get like the Blu-ray or something. I go on Amazon and it was only available on DVD. And I'm pretty sure it was like a not from American release or not from America release. So I don't even know if I would be able to play it here, and I don't even know if it's like official or legit.
It's just so fucked. Like
Yeah.
they also took off the they have not premiered or put book 3 and 4 of Infinity Train on international HBO Max, and they canceled premiering book 2 of Infinity Train in France, which, by the way, shows how far back it is. But just we don't know what's happening. I mean, it's already fucky enough that they've been sitting on the second season of Mau Mau for 2 years now and just refuse to say when it will be released.
That's frustrating.
It's just, it is. It's very frustrating. If you're a creator, don't sell off the rights to your cartoon. That may make it harder to market, but we need to live in an era where creators still own their fucking shit.
Yeah. It sucks
Be Danny
when a creator...
Antonucci, own your fucking... keep your rights to your creation.
It sucks when people are like, hey, why can't you release this thing of like the thing you did that you said that you'd like to release? It's like, well, it is mine, but I don't own it. You know, like music licensing or like, hey, why can't you release this film today? Why was it only printed once? Rights and contracts, and I don't own the movie that I made. Oops.
I mean, isn't it wild that Craig McCracken has never made $1 off of like the toy sales for Powerpuff Girls or all the future Powerpuff Girls things? Because cartoon creators don't get residuals for their stuff unless they have like the rare explicit rights. Oof. Like, it's just fucking, it's bonkers, dude. But yeah, so in the vein of cartoons not being treated well, but there's something epic. I watched the Rise of the TMNT movie yesterday.
How was that?
It's so good. That's my media. I want to talk about it because, oh my god, it is so fucking good. So, if for people who don't know, Rise of the TMNT was the most recent TV incarnation of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, Cowabunga.
And it's my favorite interpretation. I think like it's just fun. It's a beautiful looking show, and I love how they write the characters. They're just more like a family. I mean, it has objectively the best Donatello. Will not hear anyone else's opinion. Donatello in Rise of the TMNT is the best Donnie.
Love me some Donatello. Donatello love.
Yeah, Donatello, best turtle anyways, but they just increased him even more. But Rise is such a fantastic book end to the series, if not opening the door of like, hey.
Maybe another season.
Maybe, please. Look how much people like this.
When was the first? Like, when did this start? Like 2018, 19?
Yeah, the show started in 2018, and I remember ended in 2019.
This was back when Mike was living in Maine, Kansas. He was in Kansas, and I was visiting him. And like they had just debuted the first pilot of that show, Rise of the TMNT, and we were blown away. We were like, oh my god, this is so beautiful, and we didn't understand why everyone was so mad about like I love the Turtles designs so much. Like the whole art style of the show is awesome. The animation is beautiful.
I think they recently did a panel with all the Rise of the TMNT crew, and they stated I think the interviewer stated Rise is a breath of fresh air. It's something new, and then said, fans don't want that. Fans have a checklist of what they want to see, and it's just like I've never heard anything more true. But no, Rise is fantastic. There's no this isn't a spoiler. They say this in the. I mean, there it is. So the main villain of the Rise movie is the Krang, and oh
Krang,
my
yeah.
god, they made the Krang terrifying.
Yeah,
Like,
that looked pretty gross.
yeah, they basically become symbiotes. So they will spread body horror goop on everyone to control them and mutate them, and they're like a war-bringing race that just escaped a prison dimension, and it's up to
Which is
the
kind of the
turtles.
story, isn't it?
Man, I gotta watch.
Yeah.
Original Krang background.
Yes, but but they made them. This is probably the most like threatening they've ever made the Krang, and so yeah, it's up to the turtles and the Casey Jones from the future, who's played by Haley Joel Osment. So Sora helps the Ninja Turtles.
Sora is Casey. That's awesome.
Yes, Sora is Casey, and he does a fantastic job.
But yeah, the only thing I remember from the Krangs was, of course, the original, like, 84, 83, when, I don't know, when the Turtles first started, the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
The original one where he's just a little brain, just chilling, and inside is the dude's stomach. I forget his name.
They made them so fucking creepy in this movie.
The 2003 series, that was, like, the first cartoon series of the Turtles I watched, and they were pretty creepy in that show. And yeah, I love the Ninja Turtles. They're awesome.
I will state this: if you are squeamish to body horror, fair warning, because what they did is that they really wanted to play with the body horror when the Krang, does all the symbiotes, and they were like, we just kept upping it until the network told us to stop, and the network never told us to stop.
Oh no!
Hell yeah, I like that though.
Yeah,
creative freedom.
But everyone does a fantastic job. I mean, Ben Schwartz as Leo just knocks it out of the fucking park. So does the actor for Raph and Donnie and Michelangelo and April. I love April in this. I love April in Rise. Rise is my favorite April, and she's just as good in the movie. I think, like, if people were, like, a little bit, like, towards the episodic comedic episodes of Rise, you would like the movie more, because the movie represents more of the serious tone they do later on in the series, because as they said in this panel, most of the comedy in Rise of the TMNT they were forced to do because of Nickelodeon, because they were like, oh, we have to make replayable episodic episodes for kids.
Right. I hate that. I hate that so much.
Oh yeah, there's a interesting thread. I'll link it here people can watch it in the VOD, that just states all this like background information of just how much Nickelodeon just forced the crew to do so many things.
It's so frustrating because it's like, yeah, it's a kid's show, but I feel it is so insulting to the target audience of kids, where it's like, you can't have a serious, like, mature, quote-unquote show with action and, like, actual morals and whatever. Like, when I was, like, 10 or so, I watched Transformers Prime, which was, like, the, quote, darkest Transformers series. But it was still for kids, but that didn't, like, keep them from... like having scenes where they literally rip wires out of robots, like as if they were guts and stuff. Like you can still have that in a kids show. Like, I don't know. I hate when they're where's the forced comedy?
Yeah, and I mean, I like the comedy of Rise, but it's still just the thing of like,
like you have to have comedy with the Turtles. They're the Turtles.
Yeah, this one I think the movie also, I would argue, can stand alone. For the most part, there are a few things and characters that I think if you haven't watched those parts of the show yet that they mention, because this takes place after the end of the second season, timeline wise, where you would be like, oh,
I definitely plan on watching all of it, get the whole experience.
So I could say, like, you could watch this movie without seeing the entire show,
which is good.
Yeah, it's able to stand alone because they don't use a lot of series-based legacy characters, because I mean, they had to fight tooth and nail for the characters that they did have from the show, because Nick did not want characters that were from the series, so like characters that were introduced in the show.
Right. That's good, because then it's like, oh, I don't know who this person is.
Exactly.
It's very accessible.
Yeah, but it's just really good. The action is gorgeous. The show already looks gorgeous being the show, but the movie amps it up to like 10 million. Like, it's one of the most pretty looking films I've seen this year. Like, colorful, well choreographed, just the scale is epic. And and some people will say not with this movie, but I think every character gets their moment to shine out of the four turtles. Like, this is Leo's story, but Raph is very much the heart of the movie, and Michelangelo and Donnie get their own like big moments too. Everyone gets their big moment, and so does April, which April deserves, because April's awesome.
Hell yeah,
in this
April
show.
O'Neil. Yeah, April kicks ass.
But I really recommend it to anyone who has seen Rise, or if they want an incentive to go watch Rise and they want to just so they can get to this movie. Or if you want to start with the movie, I can't tell you what to do, but you wouldn't have a bad time.
And if you've never seen any Ninja Turtles at all, then fix that. Get your priorities straight.
Yeah, that sounds like a good.
I mean, honestly,
PDA.
No, PSA.
Ah, close enough.
PSA.
PDA is public display of affection.
Right,
Yeah, we just performed a public display of affection for this show.
For the Ninja Turtles,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, to be honest, I feel like people would have more fun watching this show if they haven't watched previous Turtle things, because so many of the older Turtle fans are so elitist that they shit on this show for being different.
I hate... I'm all for, like, I completely understand where it's like, I don't like this new version of this because it's not like what I watched or what I grew up with. And it's like, okay, but like it doesn't get rid of what you like. And by the way, like, every single like series has to have different versions of like the Ninja Turtles. There are so many different series. There's so many different movies. Why I don't understand.
The amount of people I've heard
New is good.
The amount of people I've heard get angry at this movie, at the Rise, the series and stuff, because the Turtles call Splinter Dad, is just like, who hurt you?
What's wrong with that? He is literally their father. He raised them.
Yeah, and in
what's
some
so
cases,
wrong with calling Splinter Dad?
Yeah, like, I just, like, who hurt you? Were you not hugged enough by your own dad? Oh, and for Odie talking about, like, Owl House and stuff, the voice of the main Krang is Amity's dad from Owl House, and he just does... His voice is so fucking threatening. Like, the Krang this Krang, to me, is the best villain that they've had, not just in Rise, but just in the Ninja Turtles franchise. I think I like this Krang more than I liked like the original series Shredder. And I mean, original Shredder, like, classic, but fucking
Tonight
this Krang was just so good. Or the fucking clip of him thinking that he's disguised as Michelangelo, and he's just like, "Whoa, dudes, what's up? I brought pizza." Shredder, where?
Have you played the new Ninja Turtles game, the Shredder's Revenge game?
I want to.
It's good. It's so fun. I love it.
But yeah, that's my media. Go watch Rise. You have to watch the second season illegally because Netflix doesn't have the second season. But you can watch the first season legally and then watch the movie.
PN potentially.
No,
not even on Paramount
not even
Plus?
on US Netflix. They only have season 1 of Rise on Netflix.
That's frustrating.
Yeah, but I mean, with a VPN, like Britain or some other country. I mean, it's not even on Netflix at all, which is in German Netflix, which is amazing because the movie, I believe, just dropped on German Netflix, but
without the TV show.
But without the TV show, exactly. Let me check. TMNT. There is the 20 whatever, the CGI one.
Oh, the 2012 one.
Yeah. Then there is a movie,
Yeah.
and the
Okay.
third entry in my search result is Scooby Doo. So
The crossover episode.
basically.
Look,
Whoa, dudes, this
TMNT have
dog's
crossed over
talking.
with TMNT have crossed over with Batman. They could cross
True.
over with Scooby Doo if we try hard enough.
That's true.
But what I personally like is that also Megamind is in the search results. So yeah, somebody who would like Rise of the TMNT might also like Megamind because they're both great.
I haven't
Honestly, I
watched
think they
Megamind in a
have
while.
similar tones, so I can imagine people liking it. But yeah, that's my media. Zach, have you watched or partook in some kind of media recently you could spin a tale about?
Oh man, I would love to gush about
Yes.
this film called Clerks. I'm sure some have heard of it.
Ooh, yes.
That's
Uh,
a blast from the past I wasn't ready
Yeah.
for.
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
I lately I have been very into, in terms of film, I've been watching all of Kevin Smith's Askewniverse films. His production company is called View Askew Productions, and he was like one of the first people to do the cinematic universe thing, where you have movies that may or may not be related or not related, all in different films that have totally different moods, totally different stories.
Yeah, because
but
Jay
it
and
all
Silent
started-
Bob exist in the Clerks universe, right?
Yep.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So this film, Clerks, was the first one. Kevin Smith's
Iron
first
Man.
film.
And Morex.
Yeah. He made, so yeah, all the big popular movies in the View Askewniverse were, I think, in order: Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Clerks 2, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, and then this September is Clerks 3.
Oh, they actually made a
So, yeah,
they're finally making a 3. They've been talking
Yeah.
about making a third Clerks
I
movie
guess
for
I
like
have to watch 2 now.
years.
Yeah, I recommend. So, like, I just yesterday I watched Dogma because I haven't seen all the films, but I'm trying to catch up
Yeah,
for Clerks 3.
I believe I have watched all except for Clerks 2.
Yeah, I think that's next, or no, I've already seen it, but I'm gonna watch Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Oh, I love
again.
Jay and Silent Bob.
They're great. I love. I'm planning on being Silent Bob for Halloween this
I'm
year.
the Clit
that's
Commander.
great.
I'm the Clit Commander.
Now the big question is, when will we ever get Clerks the animated series to come back? That show deserved,
Oh yeah,
that
I
show
haven't
deserved
seen
better. Oh, it's so good. It's so
I know
good.
it was
I
like
mean,
very short.
Was it?
it was short-lived. It only had 6 episodes,
So-
but it was so funny. Its character designs were from the person who made Kim Possible, and
Oh,
also
yeah.
one of the main villains is voiced by Alec Baldwin.
Oh,
Which,
okay.
Which was the recap episode, the flashback montage episode? Was it the second or the third one?
Yeah, the second one.
The second
where-
episode ever was a clip show episode. Yeah.
Yeah, the title of the episode being the clip show wherein Dante and Randall are locked in the freezer and remember some of the great moments in their lives. That is the full name of the title. I love it.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
Oh yeah, you'll love it. Jay and Silent Bob beat up Charles Barkley a bunch of times. It's great. And it's actually Charles Barkley.
Yeah,
But yes, but the first movie,
Clerks, exactly.
Yeah, Clerks. So where it all began, the reason, so like, first of all, the movie itself is fantastic. I remember when I first watched it back in like 2018 or 19. At first, I didn't really get it because the whole idea and plot of the movie is, well, yeah, the tagline is just because they serve you doesn't mean they like you. So it's
true.
all about, everyone who works retail or at a convenience store or anywhere where you have to deal with customers. Everyone knows that, well, it sucks. It kind of sucks because people are mean and rude and they think the world revolves around them. So this movie is about, the main character's name is Dante, the gentleman on the far left. He gets called into work when he wasn't even supposed to be working that day. And it follows him, and you get to see all the different wonderful customers he gets to deal with working at the quick stop convenience store. But not only is the actual plot of the film good and the characters are amazing, I call the movie like great dialogue, the movie, because there's not a lot happening. There's a lot of one takes where, the actors had to memorize their lines for like 4-minute long shots. This was shot on film back before you couldn't just say, stop recording, just delete that, we'll restart.
Yeah, this was it was shot
Film
on like
is-
16 millimeter film
Yeah.
stock. So
The film is black and white, which a lot of people think was an artistic choice, but it wasn't. That was the only film that Kevin Smith could afford because, and this is why I really like the movie, this movie was only made because Kevin Smith maxed out 12 credit cards or something like that. He had to ask for money from different people, and he worked at this actual convenience store that you see in the movie. And so luckily the people who owned the place allowed him to film, but only at night. So during the day, he was not allowed to film except for outside. But then to get around the fact that they filmed at night, they have the shutters of the store in the script. They were
broken.
They were jammed with gum, and so that's why on the inside the shutters are closed. That you don't think about it. So a lot of just clever things they had to get around.
I found the part that you're talking about. So, to acquire funds for the film, Kevin Smith sold a large portion of his extensive comic book collection in 1993, most of which he has since bought back. I mean, I would do the same thing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Loaned $3,000 from his parents, maxed out 8 to 10 credit cards with $2,000 limits, dipped into a portion of funds set aside for his college education, and spent insurance money awarded for a car he and Jason Mewes, who, if people don't know, that's the guy who plays Jay in Jay and Silent Bob, lost in a flood. And then the film was shot in 21 straight days. So it was get up, film, go home.
Yep. It was a very high pressure, low budget for the time.
The budget was $27,500, which is some change in the movie world.
Yeah. I mean, it has a very amateur look to it, but Kevin is good. Kevin is good.
Makes it charming.
I love Kevin Smith, and I actually had the pleasure to meet him at Fan Expo Denver, a convention that just came by here in Colorado. And I had my Blu-ray copy of Clerks signed by him.
Nice.
And very, very happy about that. He was an absolute angel. And the movie is very inspiring, but so is Kevin Smith. I'm very inspired by how, because he was sort of a meme for a while on the internet. It probably still is. I don't know, but people call him that guy who cries about everything. Not crying about oh, I hate this, but crying because he loves film and he loves what he loves. You can't fault him.
I mean,
for that.
People are always going to meme when a guy expresses emotion.
Yeah.
I mean, people
they're
meme
this guy
Markiplier
cries
for
from
crying.
every movie. He's probably a shill. He's probably paid by Disney to like Star Wars. No, maybe the guy just really, because he's expressed that he is a filmmaker, but the way that he is able to relax and just stop thinking about work is by watching other people's film work. Yeah, and he's unapologetically himself, and if people are well, you're a stupid, you're a grown-ass man crying over, comic books or whatever. Yeah, so what, dude? It's not affecting you in any way. I don't know. But Clerks is fantastic, and I after watching it a few more times, you discover something new, or you hear something you didn't quite hear the last time, and it just all kind of makes sense, and the dialogue hits, especially when you get older. And that was another thing. I was younger when I saw the movie, but after hearing other people's experience from working in retail, because I never got a quote real job.
Yeah. That's
But,
probably
yeah,
the
it's a
thing. If you're a
good film.
kid and you really cannot relate to
Yeah.
having to work, because I also recall that I first
Yeah.
saw it when I was probably too young to really understand it. So yeah, I
Yeah.
really need to go back and rewatch it now that you remind
And
me of
there's-
its existence and that there's a
There's
third one incoming.
conversations. Yeah, and there's conversations in the movie where, you know, they're talking about, like, you, this Dante, the main character, and someone he, like, I guess an ex-girlfriend or something, or his girlfriend. You know, they talk about, like, oh, you were with other guys before me. How terrible! Like, you know, that's just how it is, though. I mean, oh, I'm sorry that
Do
I
you want
was.
to have an unexperienced virgin?
it's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was gonna run into you someday. Let me just go back in time and make it so that
Yeah.
this never happened. And it goes into some deep conversations while it is comedic. But yeah, it can get real in some places, and that's what I think Kevin Smith also does very well in. He can make, like, the movie Dogma, for example, is about, like, angels who come to Earth who are trying to get back into heaven and basically destroy mankind and the planet. And you'll have a scene where, you know, they're being ridiculous, talking about stuff from the Bible, and then there's another scene where there's, like, a walking shit monster.
Oh god, yeah.
And you know, that out of context, it's stupid with context, but yeah. And then, like, another scene, they'll be having a super deep conversation about, like, morals and, like, just human values and all that stuff. And I
This movie
think that's,
revels in emotional whiplash.
yeah. So his movies are very all over the place, but I think that's what's so enjoyable about him. Every movie is a different kind of movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like Clerks, it's a movie about convenience store workers, and then you got the next movie, Mallrats, where it's sort of these teenagers are up to no good in a mall doing stuff, trying to, you know, do what they're doing. I've always seen
Figure
the movie once.
relationships out.
Yeah, figuring out relationships. And then Chasing Amy is about a guy who falls in love with a lesbian who is not interested, but he can't take that hint. And that tackles things that a movie from 1997 usually wouldn't. Pretty progressive stuff. And then you have Dogma, where it's like, yeah, angels are coming to Earth, and things
that's
get weird.
when
God gets involved.
Dogma is when Kevin finally hit it off far enough that he got a special effects budget.
Yeah, Dogma is considered, like, his best film, and after
That's
watching
pretty
it,
brilliant, yeah.
it's not quite my favorite of his, but I can definitely tell why people like it so much. I mean, it's got a whole star-studded cast in there.
Buddy
Alan
Jesus.
Rickman's in it.
Buddy
Jesus. Yeah, that's where that originated from. I never knew that until watching it.
Yep. Let me see for those.
Oh,
in the
and I guess for some people, I know some people know, some people don't. There is, like, a point of contention with Clerks because the ending you see in the film is not the original ending.
Right.
The original ending's really fucked up.
Yeah.
What is
the original ending of the film is basically Dante, who is the main character, and this does not happen. This is not the ending of the film. This was going to be. So I'm not spoiling anything.
So
But
it's
the
not
end of
spoiling.
the
It's a deleted ending.
Yeah, it's a deleted ending of the film where Dante was going to be shot because one of the, like, plot points of the movie is there he is. There's Buddy Jesus.
Buddy Jesus.
The whole, like, because Dante goes on a rant at some point in the movie where he's like, you know, life is one big down note. Where he talks about, you know, like, yeah, some good things happen sometimes, but at the end of the day, you die, and that's just how it is. And then and he also talks about, because there's a conversation about, like, oh, what's your favorite Star Wars? And he says Empire Strikes Back, and that's what starts it. He's like, because it ends on a down note. The bad guys win. And then what the original ending of the movie was going to be was Dante was going to get shot by a customer. And then the last shot of the movie was Dante, like, laying dead on the ground. Someone reaches over the counter, the guy who shot him, reaches over the counter, grabs a thing of cigarettes, and credits.
Oh,
Because
they shot
and the
this,
person
didn't they?
taking it was Kevin Smith himself, just with a shaved beard.
Really?
But
I didn't
wasn't
realize
I
that.
believe they recorded this because I could swear that I have seen that.
They did record
Yeah,
it, but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like how Little
can
Shop of
watch it.
Horrors had its original
Yeah.
end.
But yeah,
So-
Yeah, it's just not the original.
to wrap it up, who would you say would like and enjoy Clerks, and who maybe wouldn't?
Who would enjoy it? I would say that definitely, like, if you're into filmmaking, if you're a nerd, like, because they reference a lot of things. Kevin Smith is a huge dork, so he sneaks in
yes.
little conversation pieces where there's a whole scene. It's one of my favorite scenes in the movie where Dante and his friend Randall, who works at the video store connected to the Quick Stop, they go on a whole thing where Randall's talking about Death Star contractors and how messed up it was, how like the second Death Star was still being built, then it was blown up. Like, how many innocent contractors do you think were murdered? Maybe the rebellion isn't such a good, like, they just create these whole conversations based on one line or thought that I can't even fathom how you write that stuff. I'm terrible at writing.
He's probably just putting out, writing a what do you call it? A subscript? No,
A screenplay?
a screen. No, not a screenplay. Like from a conversation.
Oh,
Yeah.
a transcript?
A transcript. Thank you. He's probably just using
has
a
separate
transcript.
conversations that he combines into one.
Yeah, exactly.
production.
He's just transcripting conversations he has with other nerd buddies and just then making money by selling it as movies.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But I
who
guess-
wouldn't enjoy it?
Who wouldn't enjoy Clerks?
Normies.
I guess original Clerks might be harder
If you don't
because
like movies that don't have a lot going on, or if dialogue puts you to sleep,
Yeah.
you won't like it.
it's
But that's the best part of the movie.
It is, exactly. It's like brilliant writing, but yeah, there is not, and some characters acting weird, but yeah, it is.
Yeah, I mean, they are definitely, this cast is not like, they were pretty fresh actors. They had just really started doing this, so there's some acting you kind of are like, yeah, that could have been done a little better. But when you have these like 5-minute long continuous like scenes, I just find it impressive that they're able to memorize their lines and keep a straight face during some of their conversations about I don't know, oh, you sucked 37 dicks, and like they're able to be genuinely angry sounding during these conversations and not crack a smile or anything like that.
It feels
I find the
weirdly
production
organic.
Yeah, my favorite part about the movie is the production, and it's funny because when I met Kevin Smith, I was telling him like, oh man, I'm such a big like fan of Clerks. I love that movie. I love the story behind it. And he's like, yeah, if you ask me, I think the actual making of the movie is a lot better than the finished product. And I was like, nonsense. I love how it all came together. I just, the story is very inspiring because nowadays you don't need $27,000 to make a movie or upload a video or create something. You can just whip out your phone or your iPod or whatever the hell has a camera on it and just start creating and put it out there for everyone to see for free. Like that, it's so fun to look back on and be like, wow, you had to do that to make a movie. But now it's like, sometimes if you just get seen by the right person, you could be making a lot of movies at some point and make a lot of money doing it. And yeah, it's cool. It's awesome. I love art.
Well then, that leaves only me.
That leaves you.
It is
Give us some
I.
media. Give us some media.
Some media, indeed. So I was in cinema the other day, and I watched a movie
Ooh.
with a lot of people. It was like, so it was Bullet Train by David right? Whatever. Basically, Brad Pitt's previous stunt double turned director, and it's like
What a story to go from that to that.
It doesn't stop there. We came out of the movie and we spent, I believe, half an hour to an hour after the movie going down a rabbit hole about all the interconnections. This is a fucking passion project. Like, every single fucking character is a known person. Like, you have this, it's in a Japanese bullet train. hence the name. And you have this little, not stewardess, but the little with a little cart selling stuff. Character you see 2 or 3 times in the movie and in the infamous trailer scene. It's fucking Kimiko from The Boys, aka Glimmer from She-Ra. She's just there as the smallest role, or hero from Heroes is the conductor. And all those characters like have background, have knowledge, and then you are like, okay, how did this director get them all in there? Because okay, he was Brad Pitt's stunt double, and now he's there, as you just saw. He then was the director of Deadpool 2, and his filmography is insane. He was in so much stuff. He's basically the uncredited co-producer of all John Wick movies. And you can assume that a dude with this kind of background in stunt and comedy produced a pretty impressive stunt comedy or action comedy. It's insane.
Yeah, I've been interested in this movie since I saw the first teaser.
Yes.
I haven't seen it yet, though.
Yes,
I found out
highly.
about this movie because the British assassin Lemon
Yes.
is the guy who plays Miles Morales' dad in Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Oh.
There she is. Hi, Kimiko. Yeah, exactly. He is also, it gets worse. It gets worse. So also half the cast is where they're involved. Then a lot of the cast is also part in the Joker. So the neighbor lady from the Joker is there. He is actually the clerk in the Joker, and of course David is involved in Joker. It's
I can't
like,
believe it.
yeah, and then
The second film in the Joker cinematic universe.
basically, yeah, and it just doesn't stop. It's
Before
so
Lady Gaga gets in,
yeah,
it's this movie.
and you have like constantly you have Brad Pitt's handler, and I'm like, okay, you have a character. It's a lady constantly calling in, and you hear it, and the way how they talk with each other, and I'm like, this must be a known actor behind the voice. This must be a known voice, and it turned out, of course, it was a known voice. Then you have a character who is introduced in a way where the face is hidden for a moment, and you are like, this must be a known character. Book goes down. Oh, of course, it's around every corner, in every smaller role. It's a cameo. It's insane, and
That's
it's
great.
And it's also like, I'm feeling some of the cameos hit so brilliantly that I want to put on the spoiler tag simply for the cameos. So
I don't want to hear the cameos myself.
okay,
personally, respectfully.
Then take off your headphones and put them back on when the
No.
red banner. What, really?
Not to our guest.
But I took off the headphones before when you went into spoiler about media.
You're different. You're one of the hosts. This is a guest we haven't had in 4 years, and we're going to tell them to take off their headphones.
Which is why I give visual warnings. But fine. Then I guess I don't get to talk about some of the most mind-blowing cameos.
Also, I haven't seen the movie yet. I don't want to know.
Now you know how I feel about basically everything. Well then.
There's not many movies that have come out in theaters that I'm actually excited to see, and this is one of the few exceptions.
And I would say so. I mean, when I came out of it, my summary was like, yeah, that is probably leaving more of an impression than the last 3 MCU movies combined. And then I tried to remember what even the last 3 MCU movies were.
That would be
It's not as easy.
Multiverse of
Thor,
Madness.
Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man. I think.
Really, Spider-Man is one of the
Sorry,
last
I'm
3?
into the MCU. I think so. I
Wait,
think it was No
is
Way
it-
Home, then it was Doctor Strange, and then it was.
MCU Phase 4. That
I
feels
looked all
wrong,
3 I
but
saw.
I know.
Yeah,
because
because I'm pretty sure after Spider-Man it was.
Yeah, it could be. It could
the
be.
movies at least. I can't say what came after Spider-Man. In
Yeah,
terms of all of it.
you right. It's
Yeah.
the Phase 4 has been Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, Thor, Love and Thunder, and then later this year we're going to have Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, which is the only MCU movie I'm excited about right now.
I'm like iffy excited about Black Panther Because one, it's going to be weird without Chadwick Boseman, of course.
I mean, yeah, but
also,
I have a
the
feeling
girl who plays Shuri, who I'm pretty sure is going to be the next Black Panther, the actress is like
oh yeah,
terrible.
the actress is not a great
refused
person.
to get vaccinated,
And
and
delayed
they shut
production
down
because
yeah,
of
like,
it.
dude, come on.
Doesn't she
How
play
lame
a,
is that?
Doesn't she play a scientific genius?
Yeah, she plays a scientific genius, and then she refuses to like get vaccinated for a freaking movie. Not to get into that whole spiel, but like,
look, I'm just saying, I like the director of
oh yeah,
Black Panther and stuff. I mean, I
actually rewatched Black Panther recently, and I was like, hey, that was pretty
yeah.
good.
The thing is, Black Panther is one of my favorite MCU movies because it doesn't feel like an MCU.
I was about to say
Yeah.
because it's one of the least MCU ones, isn't it? But yeah,
Yeah,
Bullet Train.
But yeah, back to Bullet Train.
Exactly.
Sorry,
Bullet
Sorry to
Train.
get on
Marvel
the nerd
sneaks
field,
in
yeah.
and again.
Oh, also, I believe this probably also means that if Wolfhead has awkward bingo card up by now, we probably just got another check mark. Max going into one of his hate boners. But yeah, Bullet Train. If you like an original action comedy, yes, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited.
Especially since it's an original IP. And apparently it's based on a book.
I like original stuff.
Yeah, I haven't checked if it's a comic book or a novel, because some of those characters have such a feel to it, like they could be an Umbrella Academy character, like the comics. But
it's a normal.
A normal one. Ugh. But yeah.
Well,
I think it was a novel.
Because it's
2010.
because the
by
novel was
Totoro-
Maria Beetle, and then in English they retitled it to Bullet Train.
But either way, great action, great comedy, great personalities. Just with Brad Pitt, who is, I guess, a mercenary, who is just really so done with all the killing and whatnot. He's basically channeling his like new. I saw a little interview clip about it. Like his new perspective on life. He legitimately, as a person, got through the lockdown, and he's channeling this energy into the character who reflected on life and is so done with all the stuff and wants to be better, and then ends up in an action comedy, or focus on action and stunts and whatnot. He's really trying. Poor Ladybug. Anyways, watch it. Who wouldn't watch it if you just don't like action movies with stunt work and whatnot?
You just don't like Brad Pitt.
All that. I guess if you really can't stand Brad Pitt's face, yeah, then you would also not get enjoyment out of the movie. Let's be honest. Okay.
I mean, Brad Pitt's a very particular actor. You either like Brad Pitt characters or you don't. I don't think that's a controversial thing to say. I like his roles, but I know some people who just hate him.
Yeah, those people
I
wouldn't
recall
enjoy it.
many things I've seen him in.
Unless they like seeing him being beaten up. Because this is a movie where the punches actually seem to hit. Those people don't get punched 5 times in the face and stand up. No, they get punched and they are like, oh, fuck, that hurt. So...
Yeah, I mean, if you don't like Brad Pitt, you might enjoy
exactly
seeing him
the
get beat up.
Logan Paul effect. You want to see him being beaten up. Anyways, enough of that. Before we... Where's my... Go away. There we go.
Sorry. The thing is that I think of Logan Paul and I don't think about him getting beaten up. I think of him getting scammed and how fucking funny that was. So like, while I'm getting the questions for Q&A, I'll explain.
Yes.
So he likes to collect Pokemon cards. Like, he actually was one of the reasons that there was a huge scalping problem. Not that he was scalping cards, but because he made collecting so like mainstream, people started scalping because, well, big boy does it, blah 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 blah. And he was like, oh, I spent like $10,000 on these original like base one from 1999 packs that had never been opened, like boxes.
Who did this?
Logan Paul. And
okay, I was like, wait, are we talking about Brad Pitt still?
No, oh my god, can
Brad
you
Pitt's
imagine?
a huge Pokemon fan.
I would believe it. I mean, Britney Spears is a big Pokemon fan. I
hell
could
yeah.
believe people are. But no. And then they were recording the video, like live streaming it, and they opened up the boxes. Turns out inside of them were not Pokemon packs, but G.I. Joe cards. He got scammed out of $10,000.
Unfortunately, I remember hearing about that actually.
Yeah. Look. There's a sense of Schadenfreude that I can't describe that comes from that, and just like
big oof.
you could tell, you could tell when someone's not a good actor, obviously. So when they're genuinely like, oh, fuck me sideways, that you know that it's true, because I've never seen this man's face fall. So it's just like, I just wasted $10,000.
$10,000. I can't even
yes.
imagine spending $10,000 at once.
No, I could not. But yes,
That's so much money.
the time for the questions,
Yes.
the Q&A. Do we have it on Twitter?
Oh, we have plenty on Twitter.
Oh,
Question
did Zach's crew come in?
Zach's crew came in. That should
boy.
more than make up for not doing an FMK this week. We still need to figure out what we then want to settle as the grand finale. But yeah, first thing, not really a question, but I still feel myself obliged to. Oh wait, before that, art of the week, Keyframe, tell us something about this. Since it's fan art of you, sorry.
Look,
Elevator
guys,
pitch.
please, someone look back at past Awkwards. This has been a fan art, please.
That way.
There we
To the side, sideways.
That way.
There you
Yep,
go.
There we go.
There you go.
Please, someone look back. I feel like this has been a fan art. Anyways, yeah, there was a Valentine's Day stream that as a stream goal, I had to have a candlelit dinner with this thing, and I bought actual chicken tenders and me a steak. So it's just making fun of that. Huzzah!
Huzzah.
But yeah, so and thank you, Doc. It's a great art.
But yeah.
But
and
yeah.
With this quick recap, yeah, the first one I still feel obliged to read it because it has a hashtag on it, and therefore I'm legally obliged to forward the information from Eliza. I believe this is addressed to you specifically, Zach. Stop lying about your height, Zach. Please, you are not 6'7". I refuse to believe that. Shrink your height now.
Okay, no, I'm not 6'7". I am 6'9".
Okay.
I'm
Wait.
6'9".
No. You were supposed to shrink, not to increase it.
Well, that's too
The
bad.
one thing that could be vaguely interpreted as a question or a request, you screwed it up. Okay.
I'm 6'9". Nice.
Okay.
I'm
Maybe.
actually 5'11", full disclosure. I'm not afraid to say my height. It's a goddamn height. What's so important about it?
Okay, then, after this thing, now for the first real question from a certain Robin.
Okay. I know a guy named Robin.
Yeah. I don't think that this might be the same, but who knows. Hi, Mr. Zach. See, you are definitely on a Mr. basis. I don't think you know him personally. I have a question.
Okay.
When you put your dishes away, do you spit on them? Please be honest, I do know where you sleep.
When I put the dishes away, do I spit on them? Well, you know what they say. A little.
What do they say?
A little. You ever heard spit and shine?
Oh.
It adds a little shine.
Is it like a cast iron pot, or cast iron pan where you're just pre-seasoning it?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just coating it to have it ready for the next use. No, I do not spit on this. I do not spit on the dishes when I put them away.
Well, this stranger Robin, this Mr.
I do
Robin.
cough on them though.
Makes sense. You
I
need
think
to.
this can be counted as libel. You can take him to court.
Yeah. But yeah, this complete stranger with you, who is on a Mr. basis with you and who, for creepy reasons, knows where you sleep, has now his answer. How is the Discord situation?
Well, let's see. Okay. So, Existential Bread gives us a great question.
Okay.
It's a would you rather. They ask, would you rather have unlimited bread or unlimited circus passes? These are two very different things.
Unlimited
so would
bread.
I want to be able to go to the circus all the time?
Would I
or
rather have
unlimited bread?
unlimited food or be able to go to the circus whenever I want?
Yeah, but the thing is, you probably can still go to the circus if you pick the bread, but then it's on your own cost, and
Then,
the other
yeah.
way around. You still
So here's
are allowed to
my
eat.
dilemma here.
Mhm.
So it's either if I choose the bread, I forever have a source of food, bread.
Yes.
A very great thing to constantly eat. And then I would have to go to the circus on my own terms and with my own money. I'd have to buy admission. But if I am at the circus always, I have constant free tickets to the circus. There's probably food at the circus, but I'd have to buy it. So I would go with free bread, because then I can go to the circus whenever I want. And I mean, I already have enough. I live in this house, so it's like I get plenty of entertainment, circus-like entertainment. I'll be all right with the bread. I will choose the free bread forever.
So, I'm going to choose the free bread, but I'm going to do this in a way that I can get everything that I want.
Of course.
Okay.
I'm imagining this hypothetical as I'm just going to have the ability that I can just put my hand here and then a piece of bread just appears from thin air. I have the most mundane quirk imaginable in that I can just spawn bread.
That would be a great party trick.
Quirk name,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Exactly. So, but the thing is, with this party trick, what place loves party tricks more than anything? The circus.
That's
so I'm going
right.
to go there and be like, look, if you give me free passes to the circus, I will provide hours of entertainment for you.
And ask for free food. If you let me work at the circus and give me free food, then I got free bread I can teleport for you, make a lot of people go, whoa, and then have free food at the circus that you are working at, and then possibly getting paid for it.
Exactly.
So free bread is the choice.
And this is and then it's going to fuel my way of overtaking the circus. Because if I could spawn unlimited bread, then I will have unlimited breadcrumbs. And then I can just train birds.
Build bread.
So if the circus people ever deny me of what I want, I will sick the birds on them. All I have to do is just shoot fucking breadcrumbs out of my hands and then
For crying out loud, Keyframe, we talked about it. No, you cannot be Pigeon Man. He is and stays one of the worst villains in Ladybug.
What? I can't make a World War II style plane out of pigeons?
No. Reality.
Well, you know what? This is a reality where I get to spawn bread.
Yeah.
I think everything's out of the window here. But what about you, Max? Are you joining the bread train, choo-choo?
Do I want to be the other one out of contrarian? I mean, it's... I might also join the bread train, but yet still for a slightly different angle. Hopefully. It's specifically... bread is kind of a thing. I literally eat bread every day, so it's kind of something... It's mundane. It's as mundane as it gets.
Bread is pretty good.
Yeah, especially if we're talking proper European bread where you still can see the grains in it. So, not sponsored. Circus is something that my family and I actually do once a year. And doing it only once per year keeps it special. And if I would have unlimited access, then...
it's like wishing for Christmas every day. It becomes less special.
Exactly. In order to keep it special, I don't want to have the free access. And yeah, I guess that's my answer then.
Team bread.
Team bread it is.
Yeah. All right. I think there's only like one more question in the Discord, and then if we have any more on Twitter.
We might.
I mean, Existential Bread asked another question.
Oh my.
Yesterday, the minister said something about if a chicken goes into your house, let her be. She'll just look and leave. What is your favorite piece of simple wisdom? What is your fortune cookie saying?
Kräht der Hahn auf dem Mist, ändert sich das Wetter oder es bleibt wie's ist.
And what does that translate to?
If the rooster, what does the rooster do?
Crow?
Crow.
Like,
If the rooster crows on the farm, the weather changes or it remains as it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I have some wisdom to share.
Please do share.
Forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza.
Ooh.
The
Ooh, I
poor,
like
the
that
poor
one.
delivery guy. Peter Parker
Spoken
is trying
by-
his best. Come on.
Spoken by the great Michelangelo from the original 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
I
Watch
see.
that movie. It's good.
Keyframe, what about you?
Bringing back the turtle power into the stream.
If you are wasting time doing something you love, you're not truly wasting your
Ooh,
time.
that is a good one. That is a good one.
That is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then.
But yeah, that was all from the Discord.
Yes. So, oh boy. So we have a lot of voice acting related questions. I wonder why. So
I'm a voice actor.
we have like Elijah asking for the most difficult character to act. We have Spirit Tree Salsa Time asking for your favorite character to act as. And we have Missy Momo asking for also most fun character or most interesting. And was there ever the chance you were given free reign on a role? So basically,
we've all done voice acting, so I
Yeah.
think we can all. to
oh
an
yeah,
extent,
yeah, yeah. I dare to say
But,
so.
but let's let the little man of the hour.
Exactly. So
So,
we have the full range. Most difficult, favorite, and have you ever been gotten free reign?
Let's see. So an easy one to answer right off the bat. If I get free reign. So luckily, a lot of the people that I do work for, they are very like, hey, if you want to try something out, go for it. Like, because the director or the person who's leading the whole thing, they know what they want, but they don't always know what's the perfect thing, or maybe they don't quite have something in mind that you could bring to the table. So yeah, quite often I get told, like, sometimes, like, stick to the demo, try to follow this, but feel free to put your own spin on it. So yeah, I do very often get to kind of experiment, unless it's like a character that I've done before, so they obviously don't want me to like stray from it, but it's situational. But most of the time, yeah, I get free reign. Most difficult, that's a tough one. I feel like the most difficult are always the ones that are like, if I'm voicing a very gravelly, deep-voiced character who yells a lot, that's always just delightful on the vocal cords.
I keep doing this to myself.
But most difficult character, I would say not because of the voice itself, because I've done it before, but I voiced a character named Galvatron for it was the for the sequel of the fan film, the Transformers fan film that I shared on the last podcast.
Wow, everything comes full circle.
The film Rollout, I voiced a character named Galvatron in the sequel, Rollout 2, and the voice so much wasn't difficult, but the conditions in which I was recording. It was a hot summer's day upstairs in our old house, and it was very hot, and the AC kind of sucked upstairs. And I was also in a big open room with no carpet and a very tall ceiling, so I had to be under a blanket so that I could record semi-decent quality and not yell and not have my voice echoing and reverbing around. So yeah, that was difficult in itself, yelling and doing a very gravelly voice under a blanket during a hot summer's day, and I was very sweaty afterwards and my throat was in pain. So I would probably say that in terms of the actual recording conditions, that was my most difficult. Favorite, I think I gotta give favorite role to the business guy from Suction Cup Man, just because he is always delightful to just. It's therapeutic getting to yell.
Also, as we established, he is your life goal, so...
He is my inspiration of becoming an old rich white guy who hates climbers. But yeah, he is my favorite character to always come back to. Just every time. It's so great just yelling and getting paid for it, and being able to play a very nice gentleman who's just always happy to see Suction Cup Man. And most interesting, I would say, is I voiced him for a few different things. He's a character from Transformers, and I voiced him for fan films. Soundwave, who is... Things are frozen on my end. Did the Discord crash?
We are still here. We hear you. I can hear you.
Hello?
Hello. We are here. We can hear you.
Am I being pranked?
No.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Yeah, apparently.
I was like, the video feed just froze on my end.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Do I keep going?
There we go.
There we go.
Oh, you have again? Okay. Well. Oh, for fuck's sake, not that again.
There you are.
Hello?
Hello? Ah, now I was the one who disappeared. Great.
Yeah, we did a little conga line there.
Yes. Jesus.
But yes, most interesting. That was the last one.
But yeah, I believe well, most interesting was or favorite one was
Yeah, favorite one is Businessman. I don't know how much of the most interesting you've heard.
I heard none. It was the most interesting and then silence.
Okay. So, most interesting. A character I've voiced before for fan films, Transformers, Soundwave. The interesting thing about his voice is it goes through a vocoder. So the original voice it was done by Frank Welker, who voiced Dr. Claw in Inspector Gadget. So I'll get you next time, Gadget. That sort of thing. It's a very scratchy, throaty voice that you talk in that voice, and then you put it through a vocoder with harmonies and a synthesizer, and he sounds really cool. And I've gotten to do that voice a few times, but it's always fun hearing the final product, like recording it, putting it through whatever program you want to use to achieve the effect, and then hearing it, and then hearing people go like, "Oh, how did you get that voice effect so close to the series or something?" You can't share all the secrets though. But yeah, it's fun. I love Soundwave. He's also my favorite Transformer. So
nice.
He turns into a cassette player. It's pretty cool.
Well, what about you, Max?
What about me? So yeah, I mean, proper voice acting. I believe the closest ones are still the Doctor in your. Not the Doctor, but the character who is a physician in the Changing Queen on yours, and of course Glastos the Glue Maker on Scribbler's channel, in a pie story, but beyond that,
in low scratchy voices and not smart decision making.
Yes. But I keep this going up to this day when for video games in Git, when it's something visual novel-esque and there are a lot of characters to voice, for games without voiceover, I do the voiceover. I keep forgetting voices. This is always great. I believe within a single Let's Play, I switch the voice for a character 5 times at least. But,
awesome.
So the most, I guess, so I have more types of voices that I keep bringing them back. And so the worst ones are... for me, when I go for a scratchy one, and then I realize that the character keeps talking, and what was the last game where somebody was like, dude, if you feel it becoming problematic, you can switch the voice. No, I picked this voice. I'm going all the way.
Gotta
through.
stick to it.
Oh, right. This was actually with Kichi the other day when we played the dating sim based on Dead by Daylight. And I gave my character a little bit of a rasp, and Kichi was like, "No, you can stop doing this." And I'm like, "Nope, I'm committed."
Idiot.
Yep, I know. So those voices, but actually, surprisingly, the worst voices are those kind of voices because I do a very open mousing and I start yawning. I trigger myself to yawn. I have yawn voices, and I keep introducing.
I get that when voicing like Optimus Prime for things, because he's way down in the throat. And so, like, it's really hard not to just be in the middle of a line and just yawn. It's so hard.
Yeah, but what leads is favorite voices. It might actually be the aforementioned physician because it's probably the only actual voice that I ever did that didn't turn into a intense decay of my throat. But yeah, beyond that, favorite, worst are the voices that I keep doing to myself that make me yawn or hurt my throat. But overall, I'm from the Total Biscuit school of voice acting. I can voice act as myself primarily, and everything else is like inconsistent, horrific ear trauma. But yeah. Key, what about you, who has actually probably the second most voice acting under her belt?
I mean, the one that is like that was the most difficult in all this stuff was I got cast in a dubbing of the Fire Emblem like dialogue things to each other, and I played like this little fairy character who had like this really high pitched Harley Quinn Pinkie Pie sounding voice, right? And I used to be able to go up to that register really easily, but because of that particular role in which I had to record for because it was a 50-page script of this character, and I had to do 3 takes of each line and all that. It fucked up my vocal cords that I can't go as high as I used to anymore.
Oof. So actual lasting damage.
Yeah, didn't get paid. Awesome.
Oh, that's the worst.
It is.
Yeah. Let's
probably,
not drop names. Because
yeah, no.
I believe I know who is behind the project.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But I guess like my favorite roles to do are like the deeper voice roles. Like I get cast as a lot of like moms and villains. Great thing to be the span for those, which is like Celestia, Chrysalis, Rose Quartz. I did a Rose Quartz animation for the back in the day where I did Rose and Pearl. So those were really, really cool. I think like the most interesting one though was I was a last minute replacement actor for one of Scribbler's audio plays where I played Granny Smith, which if you've ever heard Granny Smith before, it's like a high-pitched old woman. I haven't done her voice in like years, so I don't think I could do it anymore. But apparently, I used to be able to do a scarily good impression, but part of it was that I would have to stretch my mouth out like this, so that way it can imitate not having teeth.
Yeah, a really weird sound.
So I want you to imagine me having to record these lines while holding my cheeks like this, and like for like hours. It was funny. So
yeah, that hurts for just 2 seconds. Holding your cheeks.
But yeah, I think that's just those are my big ones. I mean, I also hold a special place in my heart for the couple times that I voiced Mercy on Mike's channel. Small roles, but
I was trying so hard to think of who you voiced. I was like, I'm pretty sure you voiced someone on Mike's channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
For the
was
video he
I basically killed my friend Anne, who played Tracer in those
Right.
animations. And did you play Roadhog in those? No,
Uh,
Michael played Roadhog in those, didn't he?
yeah, Michael Edwards was Roadhog, and I was in that video particularly. I was Lucio for one line, and then the Doctor from Doctor Who, the
Yeah.
10th Doctor specifically.
I know that there was the other
Yeah.
one with the robot class.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Zenyatta wanting
because
to not wear pants or something.
yeah, because Michael's like,
Yeah, I was
some
not in
people
that.
get offended if you don't wear pants. Mercy, and then I'm just in the background
It's
saying,
gross,
"It's gross,
damn it."
damn it!"
Yeah.
And I think I recorded a lot of takes of that line because I was asked to do not just once where I just say it, but once where I'm far away from the mic and say it because Mercy's supposed to be far away in that moment.
Yeah.
Those takes weren't used, but there is something really funny of recording lines far away from your mic so you can hear
Oh,
how
yeah.
far away you are. I mean, that's my favorite. If you want something that'll kill me in any try not to laugh thing, I love when you can hear when an actor is far away from the mic.
Hey, what? Forget about it.
It's just funny.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like the
funny.
Simpsons thing when they have the Shining parody and he's like, ugh, and he screams because he scares himself of his own reflection. You can hear that the voice actor backed away to scream because it got like really
Yeah.
tinny. And
You
it's
gotta
just
back away from the mic when you get loud enough.
it's just so fucking funny. But yeah, those are all mine. And with that, I think we got all the questions. I hate to say it, but I think we've had the first non-awkward ending of awkward.
That is
Wow.
awkward.
A and Y and Key say hi to the people in the chat. The memes are seen on this live stream as they talk about random crap. It's time for awkward. It's the awkward. Random guests and funny gags on the awkward cast. Artwork and analysis which you do not